President Biden is in Houston this afternoon, surveying the damage left by our deadly winter storm. It knocked out power, damaged homes, and even now, 2 weeks later, 1 million Texas residents are still under orders to boil water before drinking it. Michael George has more on the trip.
President Biden and the First Lady arrived in Houston together, welcomed by Texas Governor Greg Abbott. The First Lady headed to a food bank, the President to an emergency operations center for a first-hand look at the recovery from the winter weather that walloped the state.
My mother would say, sure, you're doing God's work.
At the Houston Food Bank, First Lady Jill Biden helped bag canned food for residents who lost power and clean water, and others now without a safe place to live. The storms that sent temperatures plunging in the state killed at least 40 people, including Gilbert Rivera. The 60-year-old mentally disabled man lived on his own and died of hypothermia inside his apartment.
I don't think I would have ever thought anybody dying of hypothermia in Houston, Texas.
Rivera's family is now suing CenterPoint Energy and ERCOT, which manages the Texas power grid. ERCOT is under fire for its handling of the crisis. Newly sworn-in U.S. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm says what happened in Texas could happen elsewhere if climate change is not taken seriously.
And so this is why the importance of doing something big to make sure we're a part of reducing CO2 emissions is so important, so that we can contain these climate disasters. But we've also got to prepare for them, mitigate them, adapt to them.
Granholm says she's pushing for investments to make the country's power grids less vulnerable to changing weather and national security threats. Michael George, CBS News, New York.